10 things you didn't know about Alexandra Daddario. At this point, chances are you've heard of Alexandra Daddario, but a while back, she had smaller roles in children's films like the Percy Jackson franchise. Then she made a splash with an acclaimed role on the show True Detective. She stepped onto the big screen in a film aimed at adult rather than youth audiences in the action flick San Andreas, and then made a huge splash when she starred alongside Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron in the new Baywatch movie. And her career is just getting started. So in this video, we've decided to share with you 10 things you probably didn't know about Alexandra Daddario. But before we begin, make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we publish new videos every day. And most importantly, we want you to join our community of boss ladies. With that out of the way, let's get started. Number 1. She grew up on the Upper East Side. Given how many different roles they take on and how they mold themselves into whatever character they're playing at the moment, it can be tough to guess exactly where certain actors and actresses were raised. In Alexandra Daddario's case, her upbringing was a little more Gossip Girl than you might have imagined. She grew up on the Upper East Side. Given her strong New York roots, we're kind of surprised she didn't try to make it on Broadway or in live theater before heading to the glitz and glam of Los Angeles. But hey, it's not as if her career is struggling right now. Given the amount of blockbusters she's been appearing in, she clearly made the right choice. Number 2. She went to an all-girls high school. As someone who grew up on Manhattan's East Side, public school was not going to be a normal thing for Daddario. Instead, her high school years were spent at the Brearley School, one of Manhattan's most notable all-girls schools. It's notable for how so many of its graduates go on to attend the Ivy League schools like Harvard and Yale that put an emphasis on excellence. But as Daddario told GQ magazine, her biggest concern was the complete lack of any boys and how it affected her. I went to an all-girls school for part of high school, and the idea of boys was amazing to me, like all I ever wanted to do was kiss boys and be around boys. So if Daddario seems a bit off around guys, it's because her formative years were educated only with women, which gave her quite the different high school experience. Number 3. She starred in a music video. If Alexandra Daddario's face seemed familiar before you ever saw her in any of her film and television roles, there's a reason for that. Before she got her big break in Hollywood, she snagged a couple music video roles. She's most known for being the star in Imagine Dragons' Radioactive video, looking far less glamorous than she usually does. Daddario is a mysterious drifter trying to save the band from a puppet fighting ring. It's not as famous as so many of her other roles, but it's still one of Daddario's notable roles which helped her rise to fame. Number 4. She's an amazing piano player. There are certain skills that actors have to learn when they score certain roles. For example, if you're playing a boxer on camera, you have to learn at least a respectable amount of boxing technique. If you're playing a rock star, you'd better learn how to convincingly fake a guitar solo. In Alexandra Daddario's case, she could easily play a pianist if the right role arose because she started piano lessons at just 9 years old. While she hasn't had much use for the skill since, apart from one scene on Parenthood, she has mentioned that having to memorize music for recitals actually helped train her for all the memorization required of an actress. Not to mention that if she's ever up for a role where piano skills are valued, she'll have a bit of an edge on the other actresses competing for the role. Number 5. She prefers to do her own stunts. Daddario's star-making performance was in Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. She was Annabeth Chase, daughter of the goddess Athena. She thus was pushed as a warrior from the start, showing her athletic abilities. In both that movie and the sequel, Sea of Monsters, Daddario got into some good scenes to show her fighting skills and would insist on doing her own stunts as much as possible. True, that was frowned on as the producers didn't like her risking herself, but she handled it well nonetheless. While she didn't have as many crazy stunts in Baywatch, she's spilled that she did a lot of the stunts herself when starring in San Andreas. Number 6. She really admires Charlize Theron. Daddario has been working on the red carpet for quite a while, loving showing off and rocking quite a few dresses. When asked by people who she modeled herself after, her answer was simple: Charlize Theron. She's spilled all the details, saying that Charlize Theron is perfect. She holds herself with so much poise and grace. I don't know if she looks so good because she has the best body or because she has the confidence to feel comfortable in what she's wearing. Probably a little bit of both. But regardless, we can totally see why the actress would admire the South African superstar. We certainly do. Number 7. She loves dressing casual. When she doesn't need to be in front of the camera, she takes a far more casual approach to style, preferring things like jeans and loose tees to form-fitting dresses or fussy outfits. As she's confessed, when I have no appointments, I spend the day in pajamas and go to the dog park in pajamas. I'm very casual. Number 8. She couldn't get guys when she was a teenager. The camera absolutely loves her, which makes her an easy choice for magazines looking for a starlet to feature in a photo shoot. However, if you think that her looks mean she's always had guys falling over themselves trying to get to her and ask her out, you'd be wrong. As she told People magazine, "As a teenager, I could never really get guys and I was pretty nerdy. Now I feel like I'm getting my revenge by being a Baywatch babe. I'm like, you could have had this and now look at me." We're not sure how true that is. There were probably tons of guys who admired her from afar and just didn't have the guts to approach her when she was a teenager. Number 9. She's into yoga dates. Daddario keeps it real by admitting something everyone knows to be true. Dating, especially at the beginning, can be really awkward. It's great once you get to know the person, but those first stages can be tough. Rather than trying to disguise that fact, she fully embraces it when it comes to her dating solution by hopping right into the deep end with a yoga date. While you probably wouldn't think twice about going to yoga with your BFF and getting all sweaty, it might seem strange to do with a potential partner. However, as Daddario says, they might get grossed out by me because I sweat so much, but that's how you know if they're a keeper. Given how tough dating is in Hollywood in particular, this seems like a pretty solid plan, weeding out the losers and getting in a good workout all at the same time. Number 10. She got her first big role at just 16 and she found it boring. Like many young actresses, Daddario had a few early credits in commercials like Barbie toys. She finally latched onto a good part with the classic soap opera All My Children. She played Lori Lewis, a teen victimized in high school, but doing her best to handle it. Daddario was only 16, but brought a good charm to the role. Daddario has said that she obviously still learned from playing the part, like how to deal with darker themes. She also says she loved her first shot at events like the Daytime Emmy Awards and Fusion Fashion launch. However, Daddario admits that "I played the good girl and it was pretty boring, but was afraid of approaching the writers for more." As it happened, she was let go, and while she enjoyed the experience, she was happy to get a shot at more daring parts. We love Alexandra Daddario, especially her positive personality. Let us know what you like about her in the comments. Thank you for being a part of Rebela. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos which we recommend you watch next, and we'll see you back tomorrow.